Students,
divisible by
welcome
3.
back to today's
So
class on playing with numbers.
by 3.
In the previous class, we
15,
started with playing,
yes, it is
with
divisible.
numbers, and we
3 into
discussed
5.
different
14,
divisibility
no.
rules. And
14
today's
is
class,
no.
let us try to continue with the same topic.
9. What about the 9?
Discuss more divisibility
9 is
rules.
divisible again.
My name is Avinash and I'm a graduate from
so
IIT
complete
NEET
number
Foundation.
540
Let's
is
start
divisible by
today's
3.
session. So,
20
in the
is
previous
not
class, when we
divisible by
discussing
3.
about divisibility
So
rule,
this is how
we
you
started
can
with the divisibility
understand
by
whether
2.
number
That means
whether
how
a
to
given
find
number is divisible
whether a
by
given number
3
is
or not.
divisible by
Divisibility
2 or not.
by 2
And for that,
even number.
the simple
Done.
shortcut we have
Divisibility
derived,
by 3
we obtain
sum of the
is
digits should
that the
be
number
multiple
should
of
end with
or
0,
should be,
2, 4, 6 or 8,
divided by
or
3
simply
should
we
be
can say
divisible by
that
3.
the number should
Okay.
be
Even number.
Next one.
The number should be even number. All
A
this we
number
have
is
discussed in the
divisible
previous
by
class.
6.
Okay.
A number is
Even
divisible
number,
by 6.
yes.
Now,
Even number, yes.
when I discuss about 6,
how can I say
I
even
know
or odd? With
6
the
can
last
be witnessed
digit.
2 into 3.
2, 7, no,
Right.
8, yes,
Those
9, no.
are prime
so all
factors.
these numbers
prime
are
numbers
divisible
by
by
2.
2.
So I
All
can
these
say
numbers
that
are divisible by
if
2.
a number is
The same way, let's
divided
move
by
to the next
both
question.
2 and
Next
3
rule,
it will be
divisible by 3
divided by
the
sum of the digits should be
6.
multiple of 3.
So the only
sum
logic
of the
for
digits
6
is it should be
be a
divisible by
multiple
2
of 3
and we
3.
discussed a lot of
And we
examples,
know that.
correct?
For
so
2
the
it is
first
an even
number we
number,
are
for
having
the
sum of the digits
126, 6, 7, 8, 9.
divisible by 3.
Sum of the digits
Okay.
is 9 and
So,
yes,
a number is divisible by 6
It
if
is
a number
divisible by 3.
is divisible
It
by
is divisible
both
by 3.
2
Okay.
and 3.
9 plus
By
3
both
plus
2
3.
and
How much is
correct.
that?
So let's move
15.
ahead.
Yes, sum is divisible by 3.
In that way, we have
504
discussed
is
all this.
divisible by
And after 3 we also
2.
discussed about
Yes, why?
6
Because 4
where
is
it
an
should be
even
multiple.
number. Good.
It should be
9
divisible
no.
by 2
6,
as well as 3.
yes. 9 again.
Divisible by
no.
2 as well as 3. 504.
But now what about divisible by 2?
3?
Yes.
So we need to add the
5
digits.
plus
4 is 9.
5 plus 4, 9. Yes, it is divisible by 3.
It is divisible
3 plus
by
3,
6.
6. 6 plus 9,
so this is
15.
about
Yes, it
divisibility
is
by 6.
divisible by 3.
And we also discussed about divisible by
8,
9.
2 plus
Wait,
8, 10,
just
10
like
plus
3,
16. It is
where the
not
sum of the
divisible by
digits should be a
3.
multiple of
And
3.
5, 6
Here,
to 9.
the sum of the
6 plus
numbers
5, 11,
should
11
be
plus
divisible by
20.
9.
And this is
Right.
also not divisible
504
by
again 5 plus 4 is 9.
So the point
yes,
here
it
is
divisible by
504
when we're taking
that way
by
we have
2 and 3
completed this
as
table.
both the numbers
Right.
are true.
And after that
it
we
is
discussed
divisible by 2
5.
as well as 3.
Way it is
units of the
completely
one
divisible
digit
by 6.
should be 5
It is
or
completely
0.
divisible by
Should
6.
be
Okay.
0
What about
or
divisible by
5
2 and 3?
5045 is 5. Yes.
2 and
0
3
yes.
divisible by
9
3.
no.
Okay.
5 yes.
So
that is
as
how
it is
we
not
discussed
divisible by
about
2, we can
divisibility
straightforwardly
by
say
5.
that it is not divisible
And after that
by 6.
we are at to
The
start
same way
with
here, 26,
divisibility by
it is
10.
true for
okay,
2,
so
but
very
not
easy
for
and
3.
everyone
So
already
still it is
knew
not
that
divisible by 6.
okay, that
And
any
here
number
both things
ending
are
with
false,
a 0
and
is
we
always
can say that
divisible by 10.
it is not divisible
Any number
by 6.
ending with a 0,
It should be divisible by both
numbers
2
with 0
and
at
3.
one's place
2
are
and 3 and means
divisible by
both
10.
of them. It's not just
are
2
divisible
or
by 10.
3.
Okay.
5, 0,
In some
4,
cases,
5,
if you
0,
find 2 or 3
0,
odd means
yes.
any one can happen.
This 0 again, yes.
And means
5,
both of them
no,
should come.
right?
Both of them.
Here it is 0, here it is 0, it is 5.
Or
But
Ravi and
this
Raju
divisible,
are going to
divisible,
market.
but
Ravi
5 is
and
not
Raju
divisible
both are going.
By
Ravi or Raju, one
means
place we
any
should have
one person
only
is
0,
enough to go to
but we
market.
have 5 here, so we can say that it is
right.
not
So the next one,
divisible by
every
5.
even number divisible by 3
it's not 5,
is
it is divisible by 10.
So if there is an even number, definitely we can say that it is divisible by 2
Right.
already.
So let's
And
move forward
again
for the
divisible
next
by 3.
one.
So
total count
number
can be
divisible by
divided
both
by
5 and 2.
Right.
Number which is
We started with
divisible
2
by both
we started with
5
3 and 2.
2 into 3 we
is
started
divisible
with
by
6.
10. Okay, so let's move
Is
ahead
divisible
to
by
know
10.
the
Okay.
next divisibility
So let's go
rule.
ahead.
Okay,
Let's
let's
try
try
to
to
see
see
the divisibility by 4. It's a very
Which
important.
of the following numbers are
2 we discussed, 3 we
by
discussed,
2,
4
3 and
we are going to
6.
discuss, the 5 we discussed,
By
6
2,
is done.
3 and 6. Let us try to take the number.
7 is
3
not
to 1.
done.
We are going
Again,
to
the same
cover it
process.
later. I'm not going to do it
We are
completely.
going to cover it later.
Okay, I'm leaving that
And
for you.
10
I'll
is
just try
also
to
done.
discuss
So
one or
let's
two.
try to
3
quickly
to
cover
1, 7. How to find
Is
the
it an
root
even
for
number?
4?
No.
A number is divisible
It is
by
enough.
4 if
I'll not check
the number
that.
formed
It is
by the
not
last
divisible by
2
6.
digits.
But for 3 what we
the
do?
last
Just
2
add
digits
3
is
plus 2 5,
divisible
5
by
plus 1
4.
6, 6 plus 7
13.
Only last
13
2
is
digits
not
enough.
divisible
No
by
need to go for all the other things.
Last
4
2
double 3
digits.
5 0 4
See
5
carefully
6 7
here.
8 9 10 10 plus
5
5
0
15.
4 5 0. Just
15.
tell me. Is
Sum
the
of the
5
digits is
0
15. Yes, it last
is
two
divisible by
digits
3,
divisible
and
by
here
4. The last
is
digit
5
is 0 divisible
yes,
by
it is
4.
an even number.
No. As
How
these
can you
two
say
are
that?
true,
It is divisible by
4
6.
into
Same way you can
10 is
proceed with
40,
the
okay. 4 into
Right.
12 is 48.
So let's move ahead for the
okay.
next one.
4 into 13
Write the smallest
is 52.
digit and the greatest
so you can carefully see
possible
that
digit.
there is no
Understand?
15
Try to
between
understand
them.
properly.
Write
Number
the
50 is
smallest
not there
and the
in them,
greatest
so it is
possible
not
digit in the
divisible
blank
by
space
4.
of each of the following numbers.
It is not divisible
so
by
that
4. Okay.
The numbers
What about this one?
formed
729540
by 3.
40.
Divisible
Is
by
it
3
divisible?
means sum of the digits should be 3.
No.
Sum of the
40
digits
is
should
it divisible?
be
Yes.
multiple of 3.
It should be yes.
Okay.
It is divisible by
First
4.
of all, let us try to
4 into
add
10
all
is
this.
40.
6 plus 7
96
is 13,
is it
13 plus 2
divisible?
15,
If
15
you're
plus 4
confused,
90.
divide.
Once again.
4
Once
and
again.
96. 4
6
2s
plus
are 8.
7, 13,
And
13 plus
1,
15, 15
we
plus
have
4
6
is
here.
19. Okay.
For 4s are 16.
Now for 19,
so we can say that
what is the
yes, it is
nearest number that you
exactly
can
divisible.
add so that the multiple is
the number is a multiple
it is
of
6 digit number. No need to divide
19,
everything.
not 20,
It is
not
enough to
21.
divide the last
21 is a
two
multiple.
digits.
So
To say whether the
19
given
plus
number
2
is
will give you
divisible by
21.
4
19
or
plus
not.
2 will give you
The
21.
last
So,
two digits are
I'll
9
keep
and
2
6,
here.
96.
So,
and
I'll
yes,
write a new number.
It is divisible
2,
by
6,
4.
7, 2,
That is
4.
how you can say
2, 6,
whether
7,
a
2,
number
4.
is
It is a
divisible
number
by
divisible
4
by
or
3.
not.
It
Okay.
is a number
So the
divisible
next
by
one
3.
we're going to discuss about
that.
6 plus
Divisibility
2
by
8, 8 plus 7
again,
15,
it is a
15
very
plus 2
important
17, 17 plus
concept
4 21.
because it's
21
not that
is
easy.
exactly divisible by 3.
Okay, it is very easy
Okay,
if the number
so this is the
is
least
more
number
than
or the smallest
4 digits.
number. Why this is smallest?
Okay, what is the logic behind this
Because
one?
we just took
A
the
number
nearest
with
number
4
two.
or more digits.
Let's
A
move
number
ahead
with 4
and
or
go
more
with
digits
the
is
larger
divisible by
more
8.
digits.
If
19
the
plus
number
9,
formed by last
19 plus
3
9,
digits
28.
last
Is it divisible by 3?
is
No.
divisible by 8.
19 plus 8.
So last
It is
3 digits, the
27.
number 4,
Is it divisible by 3?
we went for
Yes.
last 2
So the
digits.
other number we can
yeah,
keep
we're
here
going
is
for
8.
last 3
Okay.
digits. So
So
let's
that
try to
number
understand
will
more
give you
about that.
8,
The
6,
divisibility
7, 2,
for
4.
numbers with
So
1,
8 plus
2
6 is
or
14,
3.
14 plus 7 is 21, 21
The
plus 2.
divisibility
21
for
plus 2 is
numbers
23,
with
23 plus
1, 2,
4.
3 digits.
27.
Okay.
The sum of
1,
the
2
digits is
digits by
27.
8
Has
yes,
to
it
be
is divisible.
checked
And
by
this is the
actual
greatest.
division. For example,
Or
it's
you
a
can
3-digit
say
number,
we need
the
to
highest number.
do normal division,
Which is divisible
but
by
if it
3.
is a more
The same
than
way you can try to
more
find
than
these two.
4 or 4
4,
more,
7,
more
6,
than
5
4
some
digits,
number with 2.
we can
Just add the
simply
numbers.
check the last
4 plus
3
7,
digits.
11.
Again, simply
11 plus 6, 17.
whatever number you
7
have,
5, 22.
the last 3
22
digits
plus
are very
2
important.
is 24.
Okay, see this one.
76104. 11, 11 plus 6, 17, 17 plus 5, 22, 22. Plus
The
24.
last 3
Yes,
digits
it
are
is
only required. No need to
exactly
go
divisible.
beyond that.
It
No
is
need to find
exactly
the complete.
divisible by
Okay.
3.
So 8,
the least number you can
and
go
104
is with the 0.
8 ones
The
are
least
8,
number you can
2
go
is left,
is directly with
8
0.
13,
You can
7,
keep
8
0 here. You
threes
can
are
see
24.
4, 7,
So yes,
6,
I can say
5,
that.
0, 2.
104 is divisible by 8.
Yes, it is.
So
it is.
the complete
The
number
least number that can be
76104
framed here.
The complete
says that
number
it is divisible by
76104
3.
is divisible by
The
8.
same way, you can find the
complete
greatest
number
and you also please try to do that.
76104 is
a very
divisible
simple
by
approach.
8.
A very, very simple
Right.
approach. Okay.
Let's move ahead. Let's go for the next one. A number is divisible by 8 if the number formed the last 3 digits is divisible by 8.
Same thing.
We discussed divisible by 2.
Let's by 3 see some examples.
We also discussed by
50456. So we need to check with 4.
Now let us try
5,
to
6.
understand the divisibility
We
by
need to
9.
manually check with the last 3 digits.
9
4, 5,
again, the
6,
same thing
with
like
8.
a 3.
8,
The sum of the
8
digits
8
should
8
be
4
a
45
multiple of
40.
9.
8
The sum
5
of the
40.
digits,
We are left with 5,
a number
6.
is divisible by 9.
7,
The
8
sum
are
of the
56.
digits is divisible by
7
9.
8s are 56.
Is
Okay.
divisible
So
by
8
9.
into
Okay.
57, 456.
Let's check
which
numbers.
is divisible by
504
8,
again.
which will give you
5 plus 4 is
57.
9.
So divisible,
now tell me is 9
divisible by 8.
divisible by 9?
We're discussing about divisible by
Yes.
8. And yes, it is
7 to 954. Will let us try to
is
add.
divisible.
7 plus
Okay.
to 9. 9
Next
plus
step.
9 is 18.
7 to 9, 5,
18 plus 5,
7 to
23.
9,
23 plus
4,
4.
7 to 9, 5, 4. For the last
5
3
plus
are
4,
very
9. 9
important.
plus 9, 18. 18 plus 2, 21. 21 plus 7.
544.
28.
So with
So now tell me
8,
28 is it. It's not 28.
6 are
I'm sorry.
48.
5
4
4 9 9 plus 9
so
18
we have
18
a
20
difference
27
of 6
okay
and 4
27
8 is 64
is it divisible by 9
and yes, we can say that it is divisible
186
6
plus 8
64,
14
right?
14 plus
So
1
yes,
15
544
is it divisible by 9
divided by
no.
8
so
will give us
186 is
68
not is
and
also
yes, it
not
is
divisible by 9
8
369 6 plus 3 9
now we
9
have
plus
just
9
3
digits there is
plus
no
9,
digit
9 plus
behind
9
before that
18 Okay,
done.
18 is again
Just
divisible
check
by
with
9.
these three numbers.
408 normal division as well as 424.
Are you understanding how to do all this?
Division, you
just add the numbers and see if it is divisible by 9. Yes or no.
For numbers less than, let's move ahead.
For numbers less
let's
than
try to understand
8,
about divisible
less than
by
3
5.
digit, and with
We
this
check
we'll
for the
stop it
complete
here.
number. Okay,
But if the number
numbers
is more than
0,
4 or more than 4 digits,
numbers with
last
0
3
or
digits are
5,
enough to say that whether it is
numbers
a
with
multiple of
0 or 5
at one's place. Right?
0 or 5 at one's place
say divisibility by 11, which is the
5.
most important.
You can see
here.
The table 5.
As well as the
5
most
into 1 is 5, 5 to the 10, 15, 20,
all the numbers what we
25, 30,
discussed, we
35.
kept a small logic.
All these numbers,
either it is an even number,
either
the sum is divisible by 3 or
5.
9.
Okay.
If 2 and 3,
5
6
is
will
multiple
come.
10, 15,
If a number is divisible
20,
by 2 and 3,
25,
it is
30.
divisible by 6.
So, all these numbers either end with 0 or
divisibility by
end with
11 is completely a unique method. It's completely different logic.
Okay, so let's try to
understand what is that.
A number
is divisible by 11.
Number in one's place, yes.
Discuss the divisibility rule of 11.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
9,
if
no.
the difference between the sum of the digits,
5 again.
If the difference between the sum of the digits
number in
at odd
places
is
5. Here it
at
is
odd
9.
places and
Right.
sum
So
of the digits
understanding how to
even
see
whether
places.
a number is divisible by 2
is either
by
3
0 by
or
5 divisible by
6
11 and by
is
9.
either 0
so
or
furthermore
divisible by
going
11.
towards
Okay.
the next class we are going to discuss
the
about
difference
divisible
between
by
difference
10.
means
and after that 10 also we have more
difference between
applications like
two numbers, which
divisibility
numbers?
by
4
sum of
divisible
all the
by
digits in
8
the
divisible by
evens
11
place and sum
so
of all
many
the
other
digits in
things,
the
which we are going
odds
to discuss
place.
in the next lecture.
If you can add these
Thank you
and
so
then
much,
find the
friends.
difference,
Stay tuned to get the
it
next
should be
lecture.
either 0
Thank you.
or a multiple of 11. So let's try to understand about that.
1, 2, 2, 1. We have a number 1, 2, 2, 1. From the right, let's try to see which are in odds places, which are in evens place. Okay, this in the first place, the second place, third place, and fourth place. We're having total 4 places. 4 places. 1 goes for odd place. Number 3 is also odd. 2 is even, and 4 is even. So sum of all the digits in the odd and even. So odd 2 plus 1, odd 2 plus 1 will give you 3. And even 1 plus 2 again. Even 1 plus 2 again 3. So now tell me what is the difference of these two? 3 minus 3 is 0. Yes.
It is enough to say that it is 0 or 11. We got 0. Number 1, 2, 2, 1 is divisible by 11. If you have doubt, let us verify. 1, 2, 2, 1 divisible by 11. Okay. Let me write it properly once again. 11 and 1, 2, 2, 1. 11 ones are 11. So 1 is left, 2 is left. 11 ones are 11. Once again 1 and 1. 11 ones are 11. Yes, it is exactly divisible by 11. 11 into 1, 1, 1 will give you 1, 2, 2, 1. Right, simple thing. So let's move ahead to learn more applications based on this one. The one we are going to discuss is a palindrome number. Palindrome, what is that? Okay, a palindrome number is a number which on reversing the digits gives the same number. Palindrome number is a number which on reversing the digits gives the same number. Reversing the digits, that means when we are writing 1, 2, 3, 4, reversing means 4, 3, 2, 1. The order completely gets reversed. 1, 2, 2, 1. Just write in the reverse way. This one should come first, then 2, then 2, and then 1. In the same way, the reverse of this one, 1, 2, 5, 5, 2, 1 is exactly the same as this one. 6, 8, 5, 8, 6. 6, 8, 5, 8, 6. You can see the same number is being repeated. So, when the same number is repeated, even when you completely reverse the order, such type of numbers are called a palindrome. Okay. Every palindrome number with even number of digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Every palindrome number with even number of digits is always divisible by 11. So, if it is a palindrome and it is having even number of digits, don't worry, just you can directly say that it is divisible by 11, or else you need to go with the other techniques just we have discussed before. Okay, so what's the next one? Okay, which of the following numbers are divisible by 4? Which of the following numbers are divisible by 4? So what do you mean by that? Number 4, what is the logic? Did you understand? Did you remember what is the logic for 4? The last 2 digits sum, the last 2 digits, not sum, just the last 2 digits should be a multiple of 4. Okay. 5, 72, 72, 4 and 72. 4 ones are 4, 3, 2. 4 eights are 32. So 4 into 18. 4 into 18 is 72. We add 72, the last 2 digits is divisible by 4. The entire number is divisible by 4. 21084. 21084. The last 2 digits, yes. 84 is 4 into 21. 4 into 21, it is divisible. 60. 60, that is a 4 into 15. Yes, it is divisible. So the entire number is divisible. So with number 4, just check the last 2 digits, it's enough. Just check the last 2 digits, it is enough. Right? So what's the next one we are having here? Which of the following numbers are divisible by 8? 8 we discussed. The last 3 digits are very important. So 774. Let us try to find that 774 with 8. So 8 ones are 8. No. 8 8s, 8 9s are 72. 8 9s are 72. So we have 5, 4. 8 7s are 56. 8 6 are 48. We are not getting a 0 as a reminder. So we can say that it is not. 9774 is not divisible by 8. It is not divisible by 8. Okay. What about this one? 531048. 531048. Carefully see here. The last 3 digits 048. Is it divisible by 8? Yes. All that is 0. We are left with only 48. 8 6 are 48. You know that, right? 8 into 6 is 48. Or you can write as 048. Both are same. If you are confused, let us try to verify that. 531048. Let me divide that with 8. 8 4s, 8 5s, 8 6 are 48. Okay, 8 6 are 48. How much we are left with? 2 plus 3. We are left with 5, correct? And then we have 1 here. So 8 5s or 8 6. 8 6 again. 8 6 are 48. Again it is a 3. Now it is 30. Is that correct? Once again, let us try to understand that. Okay. So 8 3s or 8 4, 8 3s are 24. So we are left with 6. And then we have 4. 8 8s are 4, 8 8s are 64. 0. And then we are left with 8. 8 1s are 8. And we get the balance 0. Yes, we got the remainder as 0. So we can say that it is exactly divisible by 8. Same way, 5500. Just check this 500. Whether it is divisible by 8 or not. If yes, the complete number is divisible. If not, the complete number is not divisible. Right. So let's move for the next one. Which of the following numbers are divisible by 11? Sum of all the odd digits and sum of all the even digits. Even digits in the sense, even places, odd places. Let's see that. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the even numbers add 1, 2. Okay, these 3 numbers. 8 plus 9 plus 8. 8 plus 9 plus 8. Tell me what is that? 25. It is a 25. All the odd digit places. 4, 1, 3 and 5. 5 plus 5, 4, 4. 5 plus 4 plus 4. 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. So if you find the difference of these two. Once again. 8 plus 9, 17. 17 plus 8. 17 plus 8, 25, correct? 5 plus 4, 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. The difference, don't add these two. Difference of these two, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 and this 1. No, it is not divisible by 11. So we can say that 8, 5, 9, 4, 8, 4 is also not divisible by 11. Okay. 10824. So now see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the even numbers, digits.
Even placed 2 and 0. 2 plus 0 is 2. What about all the odd placed numbers? Odd. So this one 1 plus 3 plus 5, 4 plus 8, 12, 12 plus 1, 13. So the difference of these two, 13 minus 2, which is 11. Yes, it is exactly divisible by 11. Let us check that. 10824. So 11 ones, 11 we cannot. We need to go for 11 nines maybe. 11 nines, how much is that? 99. 11 nines are 99, so we're left with again 9. Then 2 will come. 11 eights are 88, then we are left with 4. And this 4 will come down. 11 fours are 44, and we got the balance 0. Yes, it is divisible. Okay, so 984, so it is divisible by 11. The same way you can also check for 20801. The same way you can also discuss for 20801, right? So let's move ahead. Let's try to see one more application. Verify whether the following numbers are divisible by both the 4 and 8. By both the 4 and 8. Let us try to see that. 2104. The very first thing is 04. Is it divisible by 4? With 4, yes. With 8, we need to go and check for 104. 104 and 8. 8 ones are 8 and 2, 4. 8 13s are 24. And yes, you can say that 8 is also yes. So yes for both of them. It is divisible by 4 and 8. It is divisible by 4 and 8. Okay. What is the next one? Last 2 digits, are they divisible by 4? Yes. The last 3 digits, are they divisible by 8? Let us try to find that. 8 and 352. 8 and 352. 8 fours are 32. And this is 3, this is 2. 8 fours are again it is 32. So yes, it is divisible. With 8 also it is yes. And you can say that it is divided, it is divisible by both the 4 and 8. In the same way you can go for 1800. 1800, 800, yes with 4. Okay, 0 is also multiple, 4 into 0 is 0. 800, 8 into 100 is 800. So yes with 800 also, 8 also it is yes. So we can say that yes, it is divisible by both the 4 and 8. See, we are not actually dividing each and every number. We are just following some logics to identify whether the numbers are divisible or not, right? So we have few more applications, so that this one you can take it as a take-home assignment. Find the smallest number that has to be added to 289279 so that it becomes exactly divisible by 8. For 8, no need to check the entire number, just check the last 3 digits and see the nearest number to that so that the complete number is a multiple of 8 or it is divisible by 8. Okay, so that is one question you can go for. And we have one more question. Find the smallest number that has to be subtracted from 1965 so that it becomes exactly divisible by 4. Exactly divisible by 4. So from these two lectures, these two questions, we can continue in the next class, and then after that we have a couple of more examples as well as concepts to be covered, so that we are going to discuss in the next coming class, right? Thank you so much, students. Stay tuned to get the next lecture. Thank you.
Hello everyone. So today we'll be discussing about musical instruments. Right, we'll be discussing how different musical instruments produce sound. Okay, so my name is Shashan Reddy. I'm a graduate from IIT Dhanbad. Let's go into the class. I think we already learned that sound is produced by what? Produced by vibrations. We already learned that sound is produced by vibration. So there should be something that vibrates when sound is produced. So we know about different musical instruments, right? So there might be different reasons of why they produce sound or different parts that vibrate. So when it comes to musical instruments, we have 3 different type of musical instruments, 3 different classifications, right? Mostly 3. So the first one is string instruments. That's obviously an example is a guitar. There are strings and those strings vibrate. String instruments. Then you have membrane instruments, right, like a tabla, right, you hit it here. So there you have like a stretched cloth, not a cloth, but it's a very tight one, right, like a stretched cloth, membrane. We call it as membrane, we also call it as diaphragm. Then we also have wind instruments. What are wind instruments? In wind instruments, air vibrates, air and hence wind. What vibrates? Air vibrates in wind instruments. Simple example, flute. Okay, so we'll go into each and every one of them and we'll try to understand how they work. Got it? Okay, let's start. So let's go into string instruments. There are many examples of string instruments, by the way. I can show you here violin, guitar, harp. These three have been shown. There are many others. And what is the vibrating part? The vibrating part in all these cases is a string. And will that string be loose? Will it be a loose string? No, it will be a tight string. It will be a stretched string. So a stretched string is the vibrating part. And sound is produced by vibrations of the string. Now I'll take a guitar for an example. Okay, I can see here how many strings. I can see 6 strings. Okay, I'm not good at music, so I'm not sure how many instruments there will be, how many strings there will be, but according to the image, there are 6 strings in this case. If any of you play guitar, are into learning guitar or are actually playing guitar, then you will know this. There are a total of 6 strings and 6 strings produce different sounds. Now the question is, why do they produce different sounds? There can be many reasons. I'll list out some of the reasons. Okay, the reason can be length of the string. The reason can be thickness, how fat the string is. So length and thickness of the string, if these two change, automatically the sound produced by the string also changes. Now how exactly, not required, but just understand this. So when it comes to string based instruments, strings produce sound and different sounds are produced depending on the length of the string and the thickness, how fat the string is. That is the reason why when it comes to string instruments, mostly you will find strings of different length or strings of different thickness. Different length or different thickness. Okay, and obviously strings vibrate and vibrations produce sound. Simple. Those are string based instruments. Now we also have other type. We have diaphragm or membrane instruments. Now the next time you get an opportunity to look at a drum, just look at this side which produces sound. You can feel it like a stretched cloth. It will be like a stretched cloth, like it's a stretched membrane. Right, so that is the reason why we call them as membrane instruments. It can be drums, it can be tabla, anything. So a surface, these are the surfaces, right? These surfaces vibrate. Then what are those surfaces called as? Those surfaces are also called as what? Membranes. And even they will not be loose. Will they be loose? This so you can easily tell. Will they be loose? No, they will not be loose. They will be stretched. Stretched or tight membranes. Or you can say diaphragms. And they vibrate and what? They vibrate and produce sound. So when you hit it, those are the ones that vibrate. It is not a string in this case, it is what? A stretched membrane or a diaphragm. So these are called as membrane instruments. These are called as membrane instruments. Is that clear? Good. Next. Wind instruments. Now here, when it comes to wind instruments, you blow into them. Okay, you blow into them and obviously there will be nothing visible that vibrates. But what actually vibrates is the air. Air inside the flute, air inside the trumpet, air inside the shehnai. That air vibrates, and that is the reason why we call it as wind instruments. So everyone, it's very important that in each and every case you know what is the vibrating part. In string instruments, which is the vibrating part? String is the vibrating part. In membrane instruments, what is the vibrating part? Membrane, the stretched membrane. In wind instruments, it's not wind, you have to say it as air. Air is the vibrating part. Got it? That is the basic information that all of you should remember. So flute, trumpet and Shennai are some examples of what? Or some examples of wind instruments where air vibrates. And obviously here also, if you notice this, have you any time played a flute? Those of you who have played a flute, or if you have at least seen people playing flute, or at least watched any movie based on Lord Krishna, then you'll easily notice that when they play flute, it is mostly about the hands, the fingers, which hole they close and which hole they open. Yes or no? When they do it like this, it's not just random thing. They actually close the holes or open the holes. So what happens then again? Then the length of the air column changes. What changes? Again, see, length. But length of whom? Length of air column. We call it as length of air column. So if you change the length of air column, automatically the sound produced changes. So here also the sound produced will depend on the length of air column. I'll give a simple example for you. I'll take a cylinder. I'll pour water in this. Okay. So here this is water and this is what? Air, and we call it as what? Air column. So as the length of air column changes, the sound produced actually changes. The same thing happens in a flute also. I'll just draw a random figure. These are holes. Holes are openings. If these two are closed and this is open, the length of air column is this. Yes or no? But even if this is also closed and that one is open, the length of air column is this. Right? So based on the holes that you open and close, what is changing? The length of the air column changes. Why is that important? That is the length of the air that vibrates. This is what vibrates. That is the reason why its length is important. And how does it change the sound? Not required, but just understand this, that if length of air column changes, the sound produced will change. Got it? Yes? So flute, trumpet and many others, wind instruments, they work on what? They work on air. Air as the vibrating part. Good? Okay. So there are three types of instruments. Now let's go into a very simple question here, and what we will do is, we'll mention the vibrating part in the given cases. So we have a few examples: veena, tabla, guitar, saxophone, piano and flute. So what is the vibrating part in all these cases? I'll give you 1 minute of time, then please take it down. I need you to write down the vibrating part in all these cases. If you know them, if you know these instruments, you can write down, just imagine and write it down. You can compare your answer with mine, don't worry. All these cases. Just draw a rough table and just write it down. What is the vibrating part? For example, for a guitar, it is string. That way, what is the vibrating part for all these given cases? Everyone. What is the vibrating part in all these given cases? Think 20 seconds more. Ten seconds more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The time is up. Let's go into their images to understand what is the vibrating part. So this here is a veena. Okay, that is a veena. And what is the vibrating part in a veena? String. Yes or no? So for a veena, string is the vibrating part. Then you have tabla. For tabla, the membrane, the stretched membrane or the diaphragm is the vibrating part. Then for a guitar, this is a guitar, string is the vibrating part. That we have already looked at. Stretched string, obviously stretched string. Saxophone, this is saxophone. What do you think is the vibrating part in the case of a saxophone? What is that going to be? It is similar to a flute. It will be what? It will be air. Flute also it is air. So we know all of them. The interesting one is piano. Now piano has keys. So is the vibrating part the key? No. And what is that? For that you have to look inside the piano. When you hit a key, what happens? What happens is inside a piano you'll have strings. Here, can you see strings? And all the others are like some connection. There will be hammers. So when you hit a key, that key will be connected to hammer. You can see the hammers. Those hammers go and hit strings. Go and hit strings. So ultimately a piano is what? Is a string-based instrument. Interesting, right? That's an interesting fact. Piano is what? A string-based instrument. You hit a key, that key is attached to a hammer. You can see the hammers. Those hammers pluck or hit what? Hit the string. And then the string, what happens to string? String vibrates, producing sound. So that's where we are. Piano, it's a string-based instrument. Got it? Some interesting examples. Yes or no? Right? Okay, let's continue. So there is something else that actually you can try at home, an instrument, which is called as Jal Tarang. I'll just play an interesting video, how interesting and how good the sound will be. You can actually try that at home. You don't need to buy anything. You can do it at home. Okay? So for full video, if you want to watch the full video, you can actually go to this link. For now, just watch this video that I'm going to show. See that? The sound is good, right? I think I'll stop it. That's enough. Right, it's a long video. It'll go on. It's good to hear. So we'll keep on listening to the sound. But yeah, for full video, you can go through that. It's a very good video. I enjoyed it. You also will enjoy it. So please go through that. Okay, but again, coming back, what you can see here is there nothing but porcelain cups. Porcelain cups, and you are able to listen to good music. How is that possible? Right, that I'll explain. What you will do is, you'll take some metal glass or some porcelain cups, it's up to your size. But take the glass bowl, take the bowls, okay? Take the bowls or tumblers of same size. It's not metal glass, It's not metal glass, it's porcelain. Okay, porcelain is better. You can also try with metal, I'm not saying no. Okay, you can also try with steel cups also, steel bowls also. Please do try it. But those bowls should be of same size. Then fill them with different amounts of water. That is the most important point. Right? All of them should be filled with different levels of water. Okay? Then arrange them in the order of decreasing water levels, highest water to lowest water. Just arrange them in the order, that's it. Ascending to descending doesn't matter, okay? From one side it is ascending, the other side it is descending. So just arrange them in the proper order of increasing or decreasing water level. Right, now strike gently each bowl or tumbler with a spoon to hear different sounds from different bowls. And in fact, so what is the difference between all the bowls? We have taken all the bowls to be of same shape. The same bowls. So there is no difference in the bowl. What is the difference? The difference is in the water, the amount of water that we take in all of them. And depending on the water level, the sounds produced will be different. Okay, the sounds will be different due to the different levels of water or of the air columns above the water in the bowl. We discussed about air column, right? The same thing happens here also. Okay, same thing happens here also, right? Very simple. If I say this is a cylinder, if you fill water to this height, this is water, then above water, what do you have? Air column. The same thing happens on what happens in the case of a Bowl also. If you take a bowl, if you fill water until here, then above water, what do you have? You have air column. So obviously, if the amount of water changes, the air column also changes. So different sounds, the different sounds can be explained because of what? Because of different water levels, or you can say because of different levels of air column, different heights of air column. It's up to you. Both of them are the same. Good. Can you try this at home, Jal Tarang? Yes, you can. So please do try it. It will be interesting. Okay, good. So that's about musical instruments. Now, obviously, we also have an instrument in ourselves. We do talk. We do sing. And singing is also music, right? So we also produce different sounds. So how are we producing sounds? Obviously, there should be something in our neck, near the neck region, because the sound, whatever we speak, whatever sound we produce comes from where? Comes from the neck region. Yes or no? Obviously, again we can do this. Take your hand very gently, very softly. Do not press it hard. Very gently place your hand on the neck, or just place your fingers near the windpipe and try making a sound, try speaking, and you can feel that your neck is vibrating. Or else you'll feel that something inside your neck is vibrating. Obviously, if your sound is produced, there should be vibration. So that's something which is vibrating inside our neck. He is producing the sound. So what is that something? We'll go into that, okay? So as you can clearly see here, you can just hold it like this and you can feel it. Okay, so there is a part. There's a part inside our neck. Okay, where is the location and all, I'll tell you. That is called as larynx. And the common name is voice box. So if you come across voice box or larynx, both of them are the same. Don't get confused, and this is the complete voice box or larynx. It will be in this shape. Where it will be and all I'll explain, don't worry. Okay, it is present in our throat. And this larynx, now does the complete larynx vibrate? No. You can see here two flips. Two separate flips. Yes or no? Those are called as vocal cords. And they vibrate. What vibrates? Vocal cords vibrate. And they help in producing sounds. Obviously, as we know, sound is produced by vibrations. So here what vibrates? Vocal cords vibrate, and that vocal cords vibrate and produce sound. In simple terms. Okay. So what is the complete organ called as? Complete part, not organ, complete part is called as larynx. And in the larynx, there are two flips called as vocal cords that vibrate and produce sound. Good. Many things that we have to learn, we'll learn about that. So where is this larynx actually located? We are going into a bit of biology, yes. So obviously you can see this is our mouth, the mouth region, right, tongue and all much is not required. But here if I come down, if I keep going down, you can see an epiglottis. Epiglottis is something that small one, as you can see at the back of your mouth, right? Then you have something called as laryngopharynx, right? But what we are interested in is this flaps called vocal cords. And where is that those vocal cords located? Those are located in the larynx. Now here larynx does not be like this. Larynx will be like this. So it will be like this. In the neck it will be like this. It's not like this. It will be like this. Okay. And it will be at the opening of the windpipe. You might know about this, right? Windpipe and footpipe. So if we are breathing air. Where does the air go? When I take in air, when I breathe in air, where does the air go? Air goes into our lungs. Air goes into what? Our lungs. Good enough. But how does it go into our lungs? To something called as windpipe or trachea. This one. Now again, we also eat. When we eat, where does the food go? We chew it, and where does it go? It goes into stomach. But how does it go into our stomach? It goes through another pipe called as food pipe. So food pipe is for food and windpipe is for air. The issue is they are joined at one point. They have common opening. So at times you feel that if you are drinking water, you get cough, right? You feel like that you're choking. Why? Because if you don't drink the water properly, the water can enter your windpipe And in windpipe, what should go? Air should go, not water, not food. So it can block the windpipe, which is dangerous. That is the reason why you might cough at times. Okay, but again, that's all biology part of biology. I'm not going into that. I'm coming back to here. So this track here is the windpipe through which we breathe. So it's exactly the opening of lungs. And on it, we have what? On it, we have vocal cords. We have the larynx, and that larynx we have vocal cords. So when we breathe out, and we breathe in and breathe out, there is movement of air. Air goes up, air goes down. Imagine there is this windpipe. You are breathing in, air goes inside. You are breathing out, air goes outside, air goes up. Yes or no? Right, so air is moving, and when that happens, now there are like, you can just imagine there are like two pieces of paper. Not paper, obviously they are not paper, but just imagine two pieces of paper. Air is going down, the piece of paper go down. Air is going up, the piece of paper go up. Right, so based on the movement of air, they also vibrate. Yes, the similar thing happens here also. Not exactly same, but similar thing happens here also. So in fact, to talk, to produce sound, breathing also plays a role. The movement of air actually plays a role. Okay, so coming back here, this larynx, or they can, this is a larynx, this picture is a larynx, right? And here you can see this vocal cords, this one and this one. Those two are what? Those two are the vocal cords. In detail, it is not required. All that you have to know is that we have a part called as larynx, and that larynx contains two flap-like things called as vocal cords. Okay, good. Now see, two different positions of vocal cords. This is a larynx, okay. All these parts are not required for us as of now, at least not in physics. If you're interested, you can go through them, you can ask your biology teacher regarding them, but in physics, all that is not required. I'm just giving a rough idea. We have to know what produces sound, that's it. Okay, so here, as you can clearly see, this is written as back and this is written as front. What does that mean? Back, see, front is here, this is the front. And obviously the opposite side will be back. So front. So this part is at the front. At the front, the vocal cords are closed in both the cases. But at the back, they can open. Okay, see, they are opening here and it is completely closed. Almost completely closed in this case. So, right, you can see that vocal cords are opening and closing. That's what happens. And that's how vibration takes place, and that's what produces sound. Understood? So vocal cords, that's what we are talking about. Good? Different case. Wonderful. So let's continue. So ultimately what you have to understand is, humans produce sound by something called as larynx. That larynx is also called as voice box, which contains vocal cords that vibrate. So what is a vibrating part? Vocal cords are the vibrating part. Okay, so the male vocal cords are between 17 millimeter and 25 millimeter. Just imagine 17 millimeter, very small. Okay, 1.7 centimeter to 2.5 centimeter. Not that small also, by the way. Right. So the male vocal cords have this length. But again, see the female vocal cords in general, 12.5 millimeter and 17.5. So generally, the female vocal cords are shorter in length and the male vocal cords are larger in length. This is just for your information sake. Fun fact. Right, so you can say that, obviously, the way I speak and the way girls speak will be different. The way boys and the way girls speak will be different. What is the basic difference? The basic difference is in the length of the vocal cords. We have discussed a few examples, like length of the string changes, sound produced changes. Length of air column changes, sound produced changes. Length of the vocal cords changes, the sound produced again changes. Okay, and now you might be wondering, sir, forget about men and women, forget about boy and girl. Sir, between me and my friend, same gender, boy, girl. Why do we have different sounds? That is genetics. Your genes make sure that you have different dimensions of larynx, different lengths of vocal cord. Genes, DNA plays a role there also. That means my voice is completely different from my friend's. So his and mine vocal cords will be different in length. Who takes care of that? Genes take care of that. Okay. The difference in vocal cord, okay, vocal, not fold, vocal cord size between men and women results in the obvious difference between the voices of men and women. Good? And each person's voice is different. This is caused by genes that influence how the larynx is made. Genes make sure of that. Understood? That is the reason why we have voice detection things. We have devices that detect voice. Right? Good? Okay. Now for an interesting video on how the vocal cords actually operate. I mean this, let me tell you now itself, this might be disturbing for some of you. Okay, you're just kids, so it might be disturbing. Actually interested is to see how a vocal cord actually works. You can go through this video. I'm not playing it because many of you might not find it good. That is the reason. For scientific point of view, if you're interested, you can go through that, and if you do not feel good enough by watching it, then stop it. Not required. You have understood already. Okay? Okay, that's good. You can see the link here. The link is given. Please go through that. Okay, so let's go into a simple question here then. Do the tongue and the teeth play any role in producing sounds? Yes or no? Do the tongue and the teeth play any role in producing sounds? What do you think? The answer is obviously yes. And when you were a kid, when you were small, if you lose a tooth, it will become difficult to talk. I mean, difficult to produce some sounds, not all the sounds. Obviously, the basic reason for production of sound is the vocal cords, the larynx. But different sounds that you produce are also what? Are also dependent on the tongue and the teeth. That is the reason why involuntarily you do this. When you speak, the movement of tongue and its coordination with teeth is very important. Okay? Good. So obviously they are important. It's not only the vocal cord. Vocal cord is the basic reason. That's what vibrates. But again, tongue and teeth also do have a role in producing sounds. Okay? How? Not required, but they do have a role. So that's it, everyone. We learned about different musical instruments, different parts that vibrate in different cases. And we also learned about larynx and the vocal cords that are helpful for producing sound by humans. Okay? So thank you. Thanks a lot.